Well, good morning. Ohayo gozaimasu. Good afternoon or good evening. Wherever you happen to be on this great big flat earth. It is 2:03 a.m. here in Nihon, otherwise known as Japan. I am sitting here having a little snack, a little something to drink. I haven't made my coffee yet because I have a little bit of a cold drink left. I'm looking to finish that off. Some mixed nuts, a couple pieces of cheese, just to give myself a wee bit of energy. I went to sleep around, I would say, 10:30. Slept for about 3 hours. Was having a pretty decent dream. Woke up feeling okay, I think. I think it's because yesterday I slept for 12 hours. But everything seems to be good for the live stream. The audio is good, the scoreboard is correct. Information on the screen, everything is correct. Whoever joins, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you, just to let you know in advance. If you have a moment, please like the live stream. That's one of the most important things, especially early on in the live stream. Likes and subscriptions to the channel make YouTube show this to more people. I had a lot of good compliments yesterday from my listeners, and I really appreciate that. It's encouraging. I already know that there is no real competition for this channel right now because I haven't been able to find a single English YouTube channel that does a live play-by-play games for the Astros. I've only found Spanish channels, and that's one of the reasons I was led to do this channel. If you guys are going to listen in and support, I appreciate it. Obviously, I have to have some level of success on this channel to keep going. The Lion, yo. Good to see you. Appreciate ya. Good to see you again. How are you doing? What have you got going on today? It is Thursday at 2:06 in the morning here. How about you? Sometime around noon? Probably in just a little bit. It'll be time for me to make a cup of coffee, but I already have my cup, my hot water, my coffee bag. It's ready to go. We are at American Family Field again today for Game 3. It has been a miserable series for the Astros so far. Looking to claim at least one game out of this series and avoid the sweep. The line says 1 p.m. Okay, gotcha. I know that the time difference from here to that area is typically 1 or 2 hours. Japan is basically quite a bit of hours ahead of the U.S. It is May 8th here right now. May 8th at 2:07 a.m. Let's see if we can't take a look at the Astros lineup right quick. It'll be the first time I've been able to give this before the game starts. First time in a while. Jeremy Peña is leading off today at shortstop, followed by Jose Altuve. Altuve is batting DH today. They're going to give him a day off in the field. Isaac Paredes is batting third at third base. Christian Walker batting cleanup at first base. They're still giving Walker that keep him in the top 4 treatment. Yainer Diaz batting fifth, and he's catching today. Followed by Jake Myers in center field, batting sixth. Good old Jake moved up in the batting order again. Zach DeCenzo is playing left field today, batting seventh. Batting eighth is Brendan Rodgers. Rodgers had the only 3 runs in the Astros game yesterday, a 3-run opposite field homer. Hopefully he keeps that up. And batting ninth, Chas McCormick. McCormick back out on the field today with another chance to do something. He's batting .280. It seems like he's been making a bid. Several of these players making a bid to stay in the game and stay on this team by coming on a little stronger once they get the opportunity to get inside this game. Chas McCormick batting .280. It's unbelievable for him. Of course, it is a small sample size, but the way I look at it is Chas McCormick batting over 200 is a huge improvement, but batting .280 is insane. In the Astros lineup, we have something that we don't normally see. Everyone in the lineup is batting over 200. And this season, that has not been the case a lot of games. Walker, of course, the lowest batting average at .203. And besides Rodgers, Diaz, and Walker, there's not an Astro in this lineup batting below .250. They're showing a terrible highlight on the screen, a terrible stat rather. This is something they were talking about the other day, the runs scored in the first inning by the Astros and their batting average for the season. First inning batting average is 197, and they are literally last in the MLB with 7 runs scored in the first inning. The average in the MLB is 19. So you could double the amount of runs that the Astros have scored in the first inning, and they are still not even at the average. First pitch to Jeremy Peña is on the outside corner, or outside edge rather, for strike 1. Here comes the next pitch. Same spot, same exact spot. Peña takes 2 strikes in a row. 0-2 is the count. Here comes the next pitch from Priester in the dirt. Ball 1. Commentators are talking about being patient, but there's a difference between being patient and taking 2 strikes in a row. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. This is grounded to the shortstop. He fires to first. He's barely going to get him. 1 away. That'll bring up Jose Altuve. The line says Chas ninth. I think Chas can bunt too. Yes, he can. First pitch to Altuve is hit directly to the third baseman. He makes the play over to first base. 1 pitch, 1 swing to Altuve, and he grounds out. So ground out to the shortstop for Peña. Ground out to the third baseman for Altuve. Isaac Paredes strolls to the plate. Here's a pitch. Low and outside. Ball one. Don't mind me. I'm just trying to finish up a few mixed nuts and then I'll be done. This bag is finished. Here comes the pitch. A little inside, but strike one. The count is 1-1. Quinn Priester on the mound. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fouled off. 88 mile per hour slider. Paredes fights it off. One and two. Here comes the pitch. A little high. Counts even 2-2. 2-2 pitch. Little inside called strike three. It was right there. Sometimes I notice that Paredes, he gets right up on the plate and he acts like it's inside, but it's not. It's a strike. He's just too far onto the plate, and that's it for the top of the first. The Astros once again do absolutely nothing in the first inning. That is their calling card this season. They are literally last in all MLB for runs scored in the first inning. And it's probably, they've only scored 7 total runs in the first inning this year. I bet you most of those came in one game. Yeah, I've still got a little bit of tea to finish. And then I'll be able to make my coffee. Anyway, let's take a look at what Framber Valdez is going to be facing when he comes to the mound in a moment. Jackson Chourio will be leading off the batting, followed by Isaac Collins, and then Christian Yelich. 5 people following the game right now on my channel. Thank you so much for being here. And I just realized I accidentally turned my avatar off. There we go. The game highlight window and the avatar window, the button to turn them on and off is right next to each other, so sometimes I accidentally hit the wrong button. Framber with a 1-4 record, pretty miserable so far this year. 4.39 ERA. His ERA is not what I would call terrible. It's definitely not Framber-like, and it's definitely not good. He's just had a few get away from him, plus he hasn't had the run support. You put those together, and that's what you get. That's how you get a 1-4 record. Here's the pitch. Just a little low and inside at Chourio. 1-0. Here comes the next pitch. That one's bounced foul for a strike. 1-1 is the count. No outs yet. Bottom of the first. Leadoff batter for the Brewers at the plate. Here comes the 1-1 toss. Framber throwing the rock. Nice pitch. That sinker gets him swinging and missing. One ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. In the dirt. That slider missing by a lot. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The organ playing in the Brewers stadium. Crowd not getting into it at all. Looks like it's kind of sparsely filled. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Got a swing and a miss. Fromber starts off with a nice strikeout on that 85-mile-an-hour slider. Might get a good replay on that. Here it comes. Whip. Look at that. Nice pitch. Good delivery by Fromber. One away. That brings up Isaac Collins. First pitch to him is on the way. High and outside, ball 1. Here comes a 1-0 pitch. This is bounced to Jeremy Peña. Comes in, fires to first, and out number 2. 1 pitch to Collins, or rather 2 pitches, and 1 out. 2 away. Christian Yelich comes to the plate. Here's the first pitch from Fromber. Wow, a little lone outside generous by the umpire, calling that a strike. Man, that was that was outside and low, but okay. 0-1. Here comes the next pitch. Foul away. 0-2 is the count. 1 strike away from grabbing himself another strikeout. Here comes the pitch to Yelich. The 10th pitch of the game for Valdez in the 0-2 count. Ooh, just a little low and inside. He misses the mark by a few inches. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1-2 pitch on the way. In the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fromber takes a breather for a moment. Now he's back on the rubber, looking for the sign. He's got what he wants. Here comes the pitch. Man, that one was massively in the dirt. Full count. So he puts away the first 2 batters with a strikeout and a ground out. Seems like he's cruising along. And then now he's at a dozen pitches. Here comes the Baker's dozen with a full count. There's the pitch. That's in there and grounded to first. Walker's going to take it himself and step on the base. So good to go there. A couple of nice little ground outs and a strikeout for Fromber. Decent first inning. 13 total pitches. Not bad. Doesn't give up anything. Nothing to complain about there. We're going to go to the top of the 2nd. This game all tied up at 0-0. No hits, no errors, no nothing. Quinn Priester is on the mound for the Brewers, who'll be back up in just a moment to face Christian Walker. Walker batting .203 for this season. He has managed to pull his batting average up just enough to get over 200. The good news is that the Astros, many of the Astros, have been pulling their batting averages up more and more. From the 100s to the 200s, from the lower 200s to the mids, and from the mids to the uppers. That's good. The bad news is they're not scoring runs when people are on base, and they're not giving the run support that's needed to win these games. Not consistently. The Astros are just playing literally like a 500 team right now. And that's sad because overall their pitching is not playing like a mid-level team. It's just the batting. According to the live stream, there are 8 people following along. I appreciate you being here wherever you are. That's nice that I've got 7 likes on the live stream with less than 10 people. Thank you so much. Chris, 1 ball and 1 strike. Here comes the pitch. Ooh, that one just barely missed on the outside. Surprised the ump didn't call that one a strike, but it is a ball. Good eye on that tight pitch. Walker steps out of the box for a minute to kind of regroup himself. Walker does have a 3-game hitting streak going. Here's the next pitch. This one goes kind of up the middle to the second baseman who has a play over at first. He's got him with the easy throw, one away. Lazy ground ball up the middle. That'll bring up Yainer Diaz. Man, drinking this cold tea is just not what I was looking for this morning. First pitch to Yainer, he takes for strike 1. Slider at 85 miles an hour. 0-1. Next pitch. Wow, that was right on the inside corner, but the umpire laid off, so ball 1. The count is even. Here comes the next pitch. 2 balls and 1 strike on that one outside. Two balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch from Quinn. Grounded to the shortstop. He gets it on a bad hop. Good catch. Fires it over to first for out number 2. Quiet game on both sides. Looking just like Fromber. Ground balls and strikeouts. Two away. And that brings up Jake the Rake. Jake Myers, 7-game hitting streak, batting like 367 on the road, and he goes right up the middle. He doesn't waste any time with another hit. Jake Myers, the first hit of the game, and he's going to be on first base with that shot right up the middle. Boom. Right there. Jake Myers, man. What can you say about Mr. Baseball? 20th pitch of the game coming for Priester in just a moment. This time to Zach DeCenzo. Actually, he throws it over to first base right quick, but Myers is back. Myers does have speed. Zach DeCenzo at the plate. First pitch to DeCenzo should be on the way in just a moment. And here it comes. Right in there, 94 miles an hour. Taken for strike 1. Here comes a 0-1 pitch. Oh, excuse me. That came up fast. Here's the pitch. Right down the middle. Fouled away by DeCenzo. 0-2 is the count. Myers at first base. Is DeCenzo going to do something here in the second inning? Let's see. Here is the delivery. He hits that hard to left field. It's going to be down. Myers might be going to third. He is. He's running it around. He's going to try to get home, guys. He is in there. Holy crap. Myers makes it with the great effort, the maximum effort by Jake Myers, and the double by Zach DeCenzo. Holy freaking cow. Zach DeCenzo with a double. A 2-out, 2-strike double. And he puts it right out there into left field. Just a light line drive. And Myers just runs his butt off and scores from first base. How do you like that? Mr. Baseball again getting it done for the Astros. That brings up none other than Brendan Rodgers, who swings and misses for strike one. But the Astros are up 1-0 in the second. Pretty nice. Here comes the next pitch to Rodgers. After a long delay. Swing and a miss. Strike two. So Rodgers gets to the 0-2 count. Also, is he going to do the same thing? Hit a double? Knock DeCenzo in? We'll see. DeCenzo's on second base. Here's the pitch from Priester. Low and outside. Ball one. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. DeCenzo on second. Rodgers at the plate. He had the 3-run homer yesterday. Here's the pitch. He struck him out. Low and outside. When he went chasing. Tried to go fishing. Didn't come up with anything. But the Astros do come away with 1 run. Now they're leading this game 1-0. 2 hits for the Astros that inning. A single from Myers and a really nice double by DeCenzo. DeCenzo with the first RBI of the game and the first extra base hit of the game. Myers, of course, with the first hit of the game. Unsurprising right now, the way he's playing on the road. Good stuff right there. The line says, I don't want to start believing in the Rake Myers because then he'll hit 170 in the rest of the season. Yeah, you never know. But, you know, I said earlier on another live stream, and I'll repeat it here, that if Myers keeps this up, and he finishes the season above like 275 first batting average, I will definitely buy a Myers jersey. I'll have to. It's just, I want people to look at it and be like, who's Myers? Because they'll have no idea, right? Who in the world is Jake Myers? 9 likes on my live stream right now. Just 1 more to get to my minimal goal of 10. I appreciate you guys clicking that if you haven't already. Bottom of the second coming up as I'm making my first cup of coffee. Maybe this will be my only cup of coffee. It's a very tall cup of coffee because it is 2:30 in the morning and I do not plan to stay awake. Do not plan to stay awake after this game. If the game ends around 5 a.m. for me, then that means that I can sleep for at least another 3 hours, maybe 4, before I need to get up and do a few things. I'm in the middle of moving from this rental house in Onomichi, Hiroshima, to my old house in East Hiroshima. Rhys Hoskins is at the plate. He takes the first pitch, a sinker, 95 miles an hour, right in there for strike 1. Here comes the next pitch from Fromber. Ooh, swing and a miss. 0-2. 78 mile per hour curveball. Ahead in the count, 0-2. 0-2 pitch. Is he ready? Yes, he is. Here it comes. That was hit hard right at Paredes. Man, that was a hard strike, but Paredes nabbed it for Out number 1. Good catch there. Take a look at that replay. Boom. That was not a bad hit. Not a bad strike by Rhys Hoskins, but right at Paredes. Daz Cameron comes to the plate. First pitch is on the way. A little too far inside for ball 1. One ball, no strikes, 1 out. Here comes the delivery. Low, ball 2. Here comes the next pitch. That's grounded hard through the hole. The Brewers have themselves their first hit of the game, a single by Daz Cameron. Runner on first with 1 out. So the Astros and the Brewers start off with a single in the second inning. Hopefully there will be nothing further for the Brewers this inning, but we'll see. Here's the pitch to the next batter, Caleb Durbin, a little high and outside, ball 1. The line says, fair enough. I said if he could bat 250 with a 700 OPS, I wouldn't complain. Yeah, I'd love to see him up there at least 275. I want to see all the Astros at 275, but I know that's wishful thinking. That pitch is in the upper inner corner for a strike. Good pitch, 73 mile per hour sinker. 1 ball, 1 strike to Durbin. Here comes the 1-1 rock toss. Little low. Ball-o. 2 balls, 1 strike. Two 2-1 pitch on the way. No. Fromber goes to first. Easily back. Kind of a lazy throw. Just taking a break there. They're showing that his chain broke and he just pulled it off and dropped it on the mound. There's another single out to left field on that pitch. As they're talking about Fromber's necklace broke, he just took it off and he dropped it on the mound there. That's interesting. That's pretty interesting. His necklace come off and he just throws it on the ground. I thought you had to get that out the field. Vinny Capra comes to the plate with 1 out, runners on first and second. Batting 1 for 33 the last 17 games. .08 ERA, or batting average rather. That next pitch is a little low. 1 ball, 1 strike. One ball, 1 strike with 1 out, 2 runners on. Here's the pitch. Fouled away to the first base side and into the crowd for strike 2. Man, my coffee's ready, but... Okay. Pulling this pour-over out. Here's the next pitch. Ground ball up the middle, could be 2. Peña to Rogers to first. They've got it. And there we go with the Fromber Valdez classic double play. Heck yes. And he picks up his necklace and takes it off the field. He almost forgot it. Astros maintain the lead with that what do you say? I can't remember the numbers of the positions. Peña to Rogers to Walker double play. That's a Fromber special right there. Ground ball double play. He is the man for that. We go into the top of the third. Astros winning this game big time, 1-0. Two hits for the Astros, 2 hits for the Brewers, both coming in the second inning. Pretty interesting, right? Luckily, the Astros are the ones with the big hit. The double by DeCenzo scored the Speedy Myers from first base. If you go back and watch that highlight on my channel and watch Myers as he's running around third and giving his maximum effort to get home, man, he is really putting his all in there. You can see the look on his face and the huffing and the puffing. He was steaming. Then sliding in at home even without the throw. Pure pro right there, baby. Pure pro. Myers missed a really phenomenal attempt at catching a ball the other day. Bounced off his glove. I was really upset about him missing that. But they said there was a less than 1% chance of him making it. Can you believe that? If he had actually made it, that would have been like a 6-star, what they call a 6-star catch. Higher than the highest rating of a 5. Good old Chas McCormick comes to the plate. Let's see what Chas can do right here. First pitch is outside. Good take for ball 1. That's a good start. It looks like I keep having connection issues. Not exactly sure what's going on. Prism has disconnected twice and reconnected, but now it says it's connected. That pitch is in there. 2 balls, 1 strike to Chas McCormick. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. He hits this one up the middle. Right center field. The right fielder is over and he's got it. And it'll be out number 1. So Chas puts way too much air underneath that one. If he had straightened it out, it could have been something. Too much of an angle. The Lions says Jordan Alvarez has a muscle strain on the top of his right hand. Joe Espada said it needs rest in the hopes that he'll return after the 10 days is up. Yeah, I haven't said anything about that, but yeah, I knew that he hurt his hand. Even before I knew the details, I knew that his hand was uncomfortable. But, you know, the Astros don't give a lot of detail about that stuff, about injuries. 0-1 is the count to Jeremy Peña. The top of the Astros batting order is up again. Second pitch is in the dirt. Counts even, 1-1. Peña grounded out his first at bat. Let's see if he can do something a little different this time. He grounds it again to shortstop. It looks like it's going to be a similar play to earlier. That's exactly what he did the last at bat. Grounded to shortstop. Out number 2. They're advertising the Astros white and pink Altuve jersey that they're giving out at one of the games coming up. I'd love to have one of those. That'd be awesome. Here's the first pitch to Altuve. Right in the top of the zone there for strike 1. That's the only bad thing about not being close to the stadium. I can't go to these games. It's a little bit far to be going there from Japan. Line drive caught. He threw it over to first. He thought it might have hit the ground, but they say it was in the air. Doesn't matter. Either way, he's out. Out number 3. 3 up and 3 down for the Astros in the third. That's what 3 means for the Astros. It means 3 up and 3 down. We go to the bottom of the third. The Astros with 2 hits and 1 run. The Brewers 2 hits, no runs. A lackluster game so far, but at least they have an early run on the board. It's better than it being 0-0. 309 subscribers. YouTube seems to be giving my channel out to people kind of like on a every once in a while basis. My channel got up to 250 subscribers last summer pretty quickly. And then, of course, by October, when the playoffs started, the Astros got knocked out pretty quick. That kind of ended my subscribers. But I think for the year, I wound up with about 285 or so. And then from the start of this year, I had an inconsistent start because I had the school ending and some other things going on that I needed to get worked out. Now I'm moving. So I missed a few games, but suddenly I went from like 289 subs to 307, just really quick. There was a long delay, no subs at all, and then suddenly I had like 30 subs or so, 25, 30 subs. And now I'm at 309, which is good. I'm glad to be over 300 finally. But once it got over 300, it seems to have stalled between 307 and 309. Very slow the last couple of subs. But it's all about how many people YouTube is showing my channel to, you know. Valdez is back on the mound. 27 pitches so far this game. He's now facing Eric, looks like Hayes. Timer violation. Is that ball one? Okay, before Valdez even throws a pitch, there's a pitch clock violation. 1-0. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. That's on the outside edge. Two balls and one strike to Haas or Hayes. How do you say his name? That's in there. Strike two. 2-2. My software keeps disconnecting. I want to know what in the world is going on with my internet. This internet should not be disconnecting ever. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here comes the next pitch. Swing and a miss low on that changeup. Good job by Fromber to get the K there. Second K of the game. Out number 1. Joey Ortiz comes to the plate. First pitch from Fromber is hit right up the middle, and Myers makes the play at the last second. He dives, and he gets it. Fromber Valdez laughing about that. That's great stuff right there. Man, what a great catch by Myers. Look at this. It wasn't clear if he was going to get there. Boom, look at that. Wow, that couldn't have been closer. You can see where it hit his glove. I mean, it bounced in his glove just barely. Myers getting it done on both sides of the ball right now. That brings up Jackson Churio. Here's the first pitch. Right in there. Check swing, but it doesn't matter. That's a strike, my friend. 2 away. Strike 1. Churio has 1 strikeout today. Here comes the next pitch. In the dirt. That one bounces to the backstop. 1-1. And I am getting another disconnect message. What in the world is going on? What in the world is going on with this software, this internet? Here's the next pitch to Churio. Ball 2. Two and 1. Fromber takes a moment to get the pitch call, and he's got it. Here's the pitch. Check swing. Did he go? They say he didn't. So that'll be ball 3, low and inside. 3-1. 2 outs, 3 balls, and 1 strike. This next pitch will be the 37th of the game for Fromber. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. Ooh, just a little low and inside. Close take, but ball 4. So he lost him. Going to have a 2-out base runner on first. Good at bat for Churio. Not so nice for Fromber. The Lion, you say, what a catch, absolutely. And you haven't noticed any interruptions? Good, that's good. Very strange. Like 4 or 5 times I've gotten these error messages from my software saying that it's not communicating with YouTube and I've lost connection. And then it says restored connection. It just keeps doing that. I've seen that before, but man, 4 or 5 times within this short amount of time, it shouldn't happen, especially with a fiber optic internet. First pitch to Isaac Collins is a strike. That second pitch is a ball while I'm sitting here yammering. 1 ball, 1 strike. Runner on first. Here's the next pitch to Collins. Long delay there. Ooh, got him on that half swing. Couldn't hold up. Strike 2. 40 pitches now for Valdez. Hopefully he can get the strikeout or get the out right here. Keep that pitch count moderate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here comes the delivery. Too high. Evens the count 2-2. I'm glad that I don't feel really, really tired and sleepy. I know it's because I slept my butt off yesterday, 12 hours. Here's the 2-2. That error message again just now. Says disconnected and reconnected. Yeah, I keep having that pop up. Don't know why. Don't know why. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Valdez facing Isaac Collins. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Long delay by Valdez. Almost got the swing from Collins, but he lays off for ball 3. Full count. So once again here, Fromber gets 2 outs and then starts to dig a little bit of a hole. Full count. Here comes the pitch. Oh, swing and a miss. Good change up in the bottom of the zone. That's a 3rd strikeout for Valdez, and he gets out of the inning. All right, no harm, no foul. Top of the 4th coming up, guys. 1-0 Astros. 2 hits for both teams. I was about to say both teams for each team. It kind of came out at the same time, and I just said beat for beat. You gotta forgive me. It's just before 3 in the morning here. It's 2:52 at the moment. 2:52, and I'm here with you. If you haven't liked the live stream already, I appreciate you doing so. I'd like to get that 10th like at least. And then later on we can talk about trying to get to 20. But for now, 10 is okay. By the way, if you notice in my live stream on the screen, everyone's comments are coming up twice. I literally have no idea why it's doing that. It's just the software. The software is causing it to do that, and I'm not sure why. I haven't been able to figure that out. It's been like that for many games. I don't know what changed. I don't know what caused it, but that's the way it is. All right, I think I got a message from my baby. She's asking me if my health is still okay, and she says, you have so many things to move. That's true, I do. What should I tell her? It's okay, I can handle it. The heavy stuff is done. Paredes is at the plate. He takes that first pitch just below the zone for ball one. She asked me if my health is still okay today. Of course, it's always okay. Paredes rips that one down the third base line. Foul for strike one. The count is even Steven. All right. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Paredes. Here comes the pitch. Fouled away. Paredes looks like he's being aggressive at the plate. Swinging and fouling off pitches. The 40th pitch of the game is on the way for Priester. That pitch is way outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ooh, inside check swing. Did he go? They say yes, he did. That's out number 1. Look at this one. Yeah, he went around. He didn't hold the bat. It was close, but you know what? Can't say either way. Christian Walker takes a ball in the top of the zone, and the umpire actually doesn't like it. Ball 1. Surprising. That was close. 1-0 with 1 out, nobody on. Here's the pitch. That one's low in the zone, and he fouls it off. Counts even. 1 ball, 1 strike. One and one. Here comes the pitch. Ooh, that's about an inch or 2 out of the zone. Called a strike by the umpire. I like how the commentators are saying we got balls being called strikes, strikes being called balls. The count is correct, just not in the right order. That's true. Here comes the pitch. Fouled off again. That one's a little low and outside. Count remains 1-2. Yeah, today I have some stuff to do. I gotta load up some things, really, to be honest. I have to finish packing some stuff, load it up, take it out to my house. Another foul ball on that 94-mile-per-hour sinker. Count remains 1-2. Walker muscling it off. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Here's the pitch. Low and away in the dirt. Counts even. Here comes the delivery. In the dirt. Again. Full up. Priester dangerously close to 50 pitches now. Here comes the next one. This one's hit hard to left field. That's going to be down. Might be extra bases for Walker. He rounds first. Is he going to go? Yes. The ball is mishandled by the left fielder. Walker was going to hit the brakes, but the left fielder mishandled the ball. Now we got ourselves a runner on second. If you see this right here, if you watch the left fielder, he dropped the ball when it came out of his glove, and that cost him. Nice strike by Christian Walker. Good hit. Good job by Walker right there. All right, Yainer Diaz at the plate with a runner on second and 1 out. Here comes the pitch. A little high and outside. Ball one. Good take. 2 doubles for the Astros this game by DeCenzo and now Walker. 1-0 is the count. Here comes the pitch to Diaz. He grounds it to third base. Third baseman holds Walker on, makes a terrible throw to first base, but somehow the first baseman is able to snag it. That was a terrible throw. A SaberCats advertisement. Do you guys know who the SaberCats are? That's Houston Rugby. First time I've ever heard of the SaberCats, but I'm not a rugby guy. And that brings up Jake the Rake. 1 for 1 today. He hits this one to center field. Is it going to drop? Center fielder's over, and he's going to make the play. So that's unfortunately the third out of the inning. Myers doesn't come through after the double by Walker. Walker stranded on base by 2 batters. 3 hits now for the Astros, still just 1 run, but they are leading the game. We go into the bottom of the 4th. 1-0 over the Brewers. Goodness gracious me. Let's see here. Woo, man. One of those games so far. Just a few hits here and there. A few strikeouts here and there. A few ground balls here and there. 1 run on the board. Almost 4 innings down. Fromber's pitch total a little high, 44 over 3 innings. He's averaging basically 15 per inning. I like to see him at 11 pitches per inning on average. That puts him basically at 99 if he were to go 9 innings, which is very rare these days. But if he's going to get to 9 innings, he needs to be keeping it at 11 or less pitches per inning. Right now he's at 44, and that's basically 15 per inning. Pretty decent looking park, the Brewers field in Wisconsin. Christian Yelich is back up to face Fromber again. Here comes the first pitch. Right on the outside edge. Good pitch. Fromber, my favorite painter. I don't like Da Vinci. I like Fromber. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Ooh, another one right in there. Beautiful curveball. 0-2 just like that. Yelich just standing there watching it. Dope. Here comes 0-2 pitch. He taps that one back to the mound. Frommer's going to have to grab it and make the play quickly. He barely gets it there in time. It's kind of a lazy throw, but he gets it. Take a look at that replay. Man, barely got it there in time, too. Look at this, backhanded it. Man, that was close. That was a lot closer than it should have been. No replay, though. 1 away. Well, no review is what I meant. There was a replay. Rhys Hoskins comes to the plate and takes the first pitch a little low for ball 1. Here comes the next pitch from Valdez. Big looping pitch on the outside. That curveball missing with ball 2. Two and 0 with 1 out, no runners on. Here's the pitch to Hoskins. Ooh, man, that barely missed in the bottom of the zone there. Just a little too low for the umpire's liking. 3 straight balls for Valdez now. 3-0 pitch on the way. Should be right in there. It is not right in there, but it is on the inside edge for strike 1. Not quite exactly in the spot where Fromber was trying to put it, more than likely. 3 balls and 1 strike. 3 balls and 1 strike. 11 people watching. Woohoo! We're moving up a little bit. Thanks for being here. Make sure you like the live stream so I can get myself as close to 20 as possible. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. That's in there. Another low pitch, but that one clipped the bottom of the zone. The umpire liked it, and he was correct for doing so. The count is full. Take a look at that. That was definitely in the very bottom of the zone. Here comes the full count pitch. That's in there, but fouled off. Count remains full. Had a lot more action yesterday in the chat and in the game, with the viewers and the chatting and all of that. I wonder why. This is grounded straight to Paredes, who scoops it up, fires over to first, gets out number 2. The ground balls continue for Fromber Valdez. Nice view of the stadium there. Two away. Daz Cameron comes to the plate. He had a single his last at bat through the hole on the left side. Let's see if Fromber can get some revenge here. Here comes the pitch. Right in there, 78-mile-per-hour curveball. Jumps out in front of the count, 0-1. 0-1 on the way. Ooh, swing and a miss on a changeup, dropping below the plate. 0-2. Is he gonna sit Cameron down with a strikeout here? Let's see. Ooh, just barely outside on that changeup. 1 ball, 2 strikes with 2 outs, no runners on. Cameron takes a brief timeout, stepping out of the plate. Now he's back in the box. Fromber shakes one off. Now he's got what he wants. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Oh, a check swing. He didn't hold up. They say he's gone. Cameron knew it. Strike 3. Great pitch by Fromber, and he gets Cameron to go around. So he gets some revenge on the young man. He got a single his last at bat. But this time, Fromber gets him back with a strikeout. A nice little K. We move to the top of the 5th. Astros will be up in just a moment with their flaming hot bats that have produced a massive 1 run on the board. One run in the second inning, a single by Jake Myers, and then a nicely hit double by Zach DeCenzo, and some awesome fast base running by Myers to score. That's the difference in this game thus far. 3 hits for the Stros, 2 hits for the Brewers. And 1 error on the Brewers now. They charged an error to the left fielder for not being able to throw the ball in properly. Whenever he caught the ball, went to transfer it and throw to second base, he dropped it. That allowed Christian Walker to get to second. Batters for the Astros coming up are Zach DeCinzo, Brendan Rodgers, and Chas McCormick. Quinn Priester is back up on the mound for the Brewers. He's at 52 pitches now. Here comes the 53rd to DeCinzo. Low and outside. Ball 1. 1-0 pitch on the way. Check swing low and outside. They say he didn't go. That's ball 2. Didn't expect that would be a call to strike. Whoops. 2-0 is the count. Here comes the pitch. Low and outside again. 3 straight balls for Priester. Here comes the 3-0 pitch to DeCinzo. Lead off runner. Heck yes, a 4-pitch walk. Great at bat by DeCinzo. Good patience by the young man to get us a leadoff base runner. DeCinzo is not a slow guy. He can run. Brendan Rodgers was the man yesterday with a 3-run homer. He comes to the plate. Let's see if he can do something here. First pitch from Priester on the way. Takes that one for ball 1. 5 straight balls from Priester now. 5 straight balls. They're showing these commentators slide down the slide at American Family Field. Silly. But it looks like they're having fun. 1-0 pitch to Rodgers. He hits it up the middle. And, he mishandles it, and everybody's going to be safe. Heck yes. I called that one before he even made the throw to first. There was no way he was going to get Brendan Rodgers at first. Getting DeCinzo at second was not an option. Let's take another look at that. He mishandled on the backhand, picked it up with his glove. He actually put his foot on the second base bag, but he didn't get anybody. Everybody's safe. I wonder if they're going to call that an error. I think it could be. We'll see. Runners on first and second with no outs, guys. And Chasmanian Devil. The Chasmanian Devil comes to the plate. Here's the first pitch to him. He's showing bunt, and he does bunt it down. It's fair. They're going to throw to first and get him, but he does get the guys over. So Chas does it. He bunted that one. It looked like off of his hands. Runners on second and third. Let's take another look at that. Look at this. It's right off of almost right off of his hands. Man, look how perfect that bunt is. If he had taken off a little faster, maybe he could have got on base. But he got the job done. Everybody giving him the high fives in the dugout. Jeremy Peña comes to the plate. First pitch to him is a way inside and a check swing, like a half swing. Strike 1. All right, let's see if we can get this done. 0-1 with 1 out, 2 runners on. Here's the pitch to Peña. Peña grounds it to third. They're going to go home. Are they going to make it? They call him out at home. DeCinzo gets called going home. Now we have runners on first and third with 2 outs. Probably take another look at that in just a moment. Here it comes. Yeah, that looks like he might have gotten in there. Astros are going to challenge it because they're curious about whether or not the catcher was blocking the plate, but they're also curious to know if he actually got the tag on him when he got his hand in there. I want a really close look at that. Come on, show it to me. Here's another angle. I think he's safe right there. I think his hand was on the plate there. So the Astros are challenging. There were two arguments they were thinking. One is, was he blocking the plate? Did he leave a lane? The other was, did he actually get the tag on him in time? Look at this. He was safe. His hand was on the plate, and there's not a tag yet. He is safe. DeCenzo should be safe. They should be flipping that over. I'm going to go ahead and change the score. 2-0 Astros. Absolutely. The call is overturned. He is safe, guys. Awesome. 2-0 Astros. Heck yes. Zach DeCenzo with a perfect tag, getting his arm around that tag. Crowd booing a little bit, but there's nothing to boo about. It was obvious. It was obvious. Runners on the corners now with one out. And my hero, Jose Altuve, is at the plate. Heck yes. Come on, Altuve. Show me something, mister. Here's the pitch. Way up and in. Brushes Altuve back. Ball one. Rogers on third. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Altuve. Oh, it gets away. The catcher doesn't know where it's at. Peña's going to score. I'm sorry, Rogers is going to score easily. Peña goes to second. 3-0 Astros. Heck yes. Comedy of errors now for the Brewers. Man. Catcher didn't know where the ball was. Rogers just trots home. And that ball wasn't very far away, but Rogers just saw. He didn't know where it was at. The count is 2-0 against Altuve. Runner on second, one out. Here's the pitch. A little high. Good take by Altuve. 3-0. Just like that. Altuve with an excellent at-bat. Heck yes, man. This is turning into a great inning. I forgot to put that other run on the board. There it is. Here's the next pitch to Altuve. Ooh, just barely inside for strike one. He just nicked the corner of the zone there. 3-0 Astros. 3-1 is the count against Altuve. 2 outs, runner on second. Here's the delivery from Priester. Altuve hits on way up high. Should be a fly out. Shortstop is over. He puts it away. Peña stays on second. So unfortunately, Altuve flies out. Not a bad at bat though, just waiting for the good pitch. Unfortunately, he skied it up. Man, Paredes comes to the plate. The Astros have scored 2 runs this inning without getting a hit. Here's the first pitch to Paredes. Low and outside, ball one. Well, it's like they said, the commentator said, thank goodness for Chaz bunting the men over because we scored without getting any hits. It's true. Here's a pitch to Paredes, a little outside, ball two. 2 balls, no strikes. '69th pitch of the game coming up for Priester. Here's the delivery. That one just on the outside edge. Could have gone either way. Called strike one. 2-1. Oh, Jordan, welcome back. Thanks for being here. I didn't see you there. I was so busy calling this action here. 2 balls, 1 strike to Paredes. Just a little outside. That one's too far out. Ball 3. Christian Walker on deck. he might have a chance here with 2 runners on if they walk Paredes. Unless Paredes decides, you know what, I just want to hit it out of the park. That'd be nice too. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. Way outside, and that'll be ball 4. So Christian Walker will have 2 runners on in just a moment. Several base runners on this game without, or not this game, in this inning without a hit. Astros have a couple of runs on the board without a hit. Pretty crazy. Christian Walker is warming up outside the plate there, or outside the box, as the pitching coach has a little talk with Priester. Jordan says, well, might be safe. He definitely was. The kid's got hands. Yeah. Jordan, I used to run like that. I hear you, man. I'm the same. Maybe every batter should bunt. The Astros should just start. They should become a bunt team. Can you imagine if they became a bunt team and went all the way to the World Series, just bunting all the time? It'd be preferable to the way they've been playing. Bunt, bunt, bunt. Just everybody bunt, bunt, bunt. All right. Isaac Paredes is on. Peña is on. Christian Walker is at the plate with 2 outs, first and second. Here's the pitch from Priester. Long delay. Low and away. Little check swing. They say he did not go. Ball 1. I can't wait to get to my old house and get my extra monitors hooked up. That's going to be awesome. Here comes the pitch to Walker. Swing and a miss. Another one low and outside. That's the one that he check swung. On the last pitch. 1-1 is the count. Priester looking for the next pitch. This will be his 74th of the game. Here comes the rock toss. Another one, same pitch. Walker holds off. 2 balls and 1 strike. Got about 18 watching now. Suddenly the viewers shot up. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. 16 likes. Awesome. 4 more to get to my main goal. That one is also outside. 3 balls and 1 strike to Christian Walker. Here comes a 3-1 pitch. In the dirt and outside. Heck yes, another walk. Man, the Astros are getting on base without getting any hits. Getting on base and scoring without any hits. That's crazy. The command of Quinn Priester is just not there right now. Yainer Diaz comes to the plate with bases loaded. You remember that grand slam that Yainer had earlier this year? I do. He fouls that first pitch off. Strike 1. I remember that grand slam. I remember that grand slam breakfast that Diaz gave earlier this year. How about one in Milwaukee? That'd be nice. Here's the pitch. This one's going to go up the middle. Should be an easy play. He fires over to first. And he gets him. So Diaz grounds out with bases loaded. The Astros score 2 runs without a single hit. 1 error on the Brewers. And a little bit of a comedy of errors, but you know, the Astros, that's how they're needing runs right now. They need a little bit of help. We go into the bottom of the 5th. Astros up 3-0. If they're going to give them runs, give them errors, be my guest. The way the Astros are hitting, they need them. I mean, they just proved it right there. They had guys on base, guys on second and third, guys on the corners, bases loaded, and they didn't drive in any of them. They didn't drive in any runs at all, despite having all those guys on base. They got 2 runs via alternate means. Mel, good to see you there. Greetings again from Conroe, Texas. Good morning to you too, sir. It is almost 3:30 in the morning here in Japan. This game is cruising along nicely right now. Not an impressive game, despite the Astros being up 3-0. But we are in the bottom of the fifth with the lead. And having the lead and keeping the lead, these are the most important things. Very low hitting game. As a matter of fact, the Astros have only scored one of their 3 runs via hit, a double by DeCinzo, and a run your butt off like your rear end is on fire by Jake Myers from first all the way home. I've got so much packing left to do and moving to do. My rental house here, from here to my home, for those of you who don't know, I actually bought a house here in Japan, and my house is 200 years old. It is a very old, it's an Edo period house. One of my teachers calls it a samurai house. If you ever seen any of those Japanese movies where the house is elevated off the ground, the whole house is made of wood and sliding doors, right? And it's got like the porch that goes all the way around the outside. It's up off the ground. It's like 2.5 feet or more off the ground. That's exactly what my house looks like. It does have a retrofitted metal roof on top, but underneath that roof is a grass roof. It's got the original grass roof under there. And I've got a ton of cleaning and renovation to do. If you guys are interested in checking that channel out, I do have a YouTube on it. First pitch from Valdez to Durbin is on the way. Misses just a little low and outside for ball 1. Next pitch on the way from Fromber. That one's a little low and inside. 2-0. But yeah, I'll drop the link to my YouTube channel because I actually have another YouTube channel that has close to 3,000 subs. I haven't made any new videos on there recently, and I'll tell you about that in just a moment. But here's the next pitch to Durbin. That one is in there, the first strike, 2-1 on the sinker. Two and one. Here's the pitch from Fromber. Bounced foul, just like that. The count is even, 2-2. But yeah, I went to Japanese language school over a year and a half ago, and I just finished recently. During that time, I had no ability or time to go out to my house and do DIY and cleaning and YouTube videos. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Fromber comes back from the down in the count, 2-0 count, to a full count, to a strikeout. One away. Let's take a look at that. Whiff. Man, the bottom just fell out of that one. Just like smelly tofu in China, that's some nasty stuff. If you guys have never heard of smelly tofu, I'm not surprised. If any of you have heard of smelly tofu, I'm shocked. When I was in the U.S., I'd never heard of it. Vinny Capra comes to the plate. The first pitch on the way. Fouled off on the right side. Strike 1. It's a strike 1. Diaz swings at 2 balls. Yeah, that's true. Next pitch to Capra is low and inside in the Doit. Ball 2. I'm sorry, that's 1-1. I got it wrong on my scorecard here. 1-1 is the count. He had a foul ball, so 1-1. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. That is right in there, man. Beautiful painter. Fromber's beautiful painter, putting that one right there on the inside edge. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 1 out. Brilliant. Here's the pitch. That's bounced foul. That will be another 1-2 count. What is my channel link? I want to get my channel link. Akia Kominka Life is the official name of my channel. Here comes a 1-2 pitch from Fromber. Swing and a miss. Make it another strikeout. Another special K by Valdez. He sits Vinny Capra down. 2 away. Take a look at this nice lob. Swift. Anybody want a Swiffer? You need a Swiffer? If you need a Swiffer, Fromber maybe can let you borrow his. Next batter is up. This is Eric Haas. Is that right? Haas? Like Bonanza? Haas? He struck out his last at bat. First pitch here is a little inside. Second one is right on the outside corner, but the umpire doesn't like it. He lays off. Man, what in the world's going on? 2 balls and no strikes to Haas. 2 outs, no runners on. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. That's in there. 78-mile-per-hour curveball, no doubter. Those were my favorite pitches to hit. I was really good at it, and I liked them. Didn't have a real problem with the fastball, but I was really good at hitting the curveballs. Nice one. Speaking of curveball, look at that one. The bottom fell out of that. And just like that, we're even from 2-0 to 2-2. Let's take another look at that if we can. I think we can. Oh, too late. I was too slow. I clicked the wrong button. 2-2 is the pitch count. Here comes the delivery. This one's hit hard out into center field. That might be gone. Myers watches it go, and that's a homer. Brewers are on the board with a homer from Haas. If anybody can do it, it must be the guy from Bonanza. Haas with a 1-run shot. Luckily, there was nobody on base. The Astros lead is cut by 2, 3-1. Man, Fromber was cruising along, had 2 outs, had 2 strikes, and just put it right in the zone. 74th pitch of the game on the way to Joey Ortiz, just a little outside for ball 1. These early games are probably not good for you. No one will blame you if you just do the evening games. I watch a lot of Japanese videos of guys traveling around on the trains. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I would be able to do this year here in Japan because I'm on a special visa. I'm just here for medical treatment right now. Next pitch is grounded to Brendan Rodgers, who scoops it up on the 1-1 pitch, throws it over, out number 3, and that's it for the inning. But the 1-run homer, the solo homer, puts the Brewers on the board. The Astros up 3-1. Looks like 3 hits for each team. Yep, 3 hits each, 2 errors on the Brewers. But yeah, I see what you're saying, Jordan. You said that the early games are probably not good for me. I would imagine you're talking about my health, right? And I get it. And to be honest, I was looking at the schedule. I don't know if you realize this or not. Maybe you don't. But I was looking at the Astros schedule coming up over the next few weeks. And tomorrow they have a break. Okay, so after this series ends with the Brewers, they'll have a break tomorrow. But after that, they're going to play like 3 weeks in a row every single day. That means that I won't have a break at all. I'll have games to do every single day. So it's possible that what I could do, there is an option for me. What I could do is just put a live score on the screen. And with that live score, it could be automatically streamed and people could come in and chat and talk. You guys could still come in and check the score. And I just wouldn't be here to, well, I could say I might not be here. You know, if I'm available, or for some reason I can't sleep or something, maybe. But I could set it up and just let the live score be on the screen. And I could just sleep. It's possible I could do that. But I'll have to think about it. I'm going to take a look at it and see, because I really felt tired just looking at the upcoming schedule for the next 3 weeks. The Astros have a really rough schedule. And of course, I know that playing baseball every single day for several weeks is difficult. But these guys, they are younger than me. They don't have cancer. And it's just the way it is right now. I remember back when I was like these guys. Elvin Rodriguez is on the mound now for the Brewers. First pitch coming in. That would be a ball outside to Jake Myers. Top of the sixth. Myers at the plate takes another pitch. That was a good take by Myers. A couple inches out of the zone. 2-0. Myers 1 for 2 today with a single. Here's the pitch. That's right in the top of the zone. 95 miles an hour. Swing and a miss. I want to update this picture on my screen. What is it? Elvin Rodriguez. I can get his picture. I'm sure I can save his picture. Opponents, Brewers. Too high. 3 balls and 1 strike. There we go. 3-1. Here's the pitch. That's in there. Full count. 95 mile per hour, 4-seam fastball. 3-2. No outs. Myers the leadoff batter. Here comes the delivery. Way high. Ball 4. Leadoff walk for Mr. Baseball. So 0 for 1 today with a single and a walk. And he is a fast base runner, so we have that to consider. His speed gave us the first run. There's Elvin Rodriguez. I'm going to put his picture on the screen. Little toss over to first, but Myers is back. No worries there. Zach DeCenzo at the plate. He had a double earlier in the same situation with Myers on first, and Myers was able to score, booking it all the way around. Here's the first pitch to DeCenzo. Whoa. Went over his head. That's not good. Ball 1. I mean, good for the Astros. 1-0. Here comes the next toss from Rodriguez. In the dirt. Ball 2. Rodriguez throwing mostly balls so far. 2 to DeCenzo and 4 to Myers. Myers is on first with a walk. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Way inside, almost hit him. Man, the control is just not there for Rodriguez right now. 3 balls and no strikes. Threatening to put another man on with a walk. The 10th pitch for him on the way in just a moment. Here's the pitch. That's in there, barely on the outside edge. 96 mile per hour fastball. Most guaranteed way, I guess, to get a strike is to throw it as straight as possible. Just throw that fastball. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. Nope, he goes to first. Myers is back. Ahí es no problema. My terrible Spanish. 3 balls, 1 strike to DeCenzo. Should have a pitch now. Here it comes. Ooh, 96 right in there. DeCenzo went after it, but he couldn't connect. We have ourselves another full count. 2 full counts in a row. The 12th pitch of the inning coming up for Rodriguez. And here comes the toss. That's a little high. Ball 4. Myers was running. Catcher came up to throw, but didn't make the throw. DeCenzo goes to first. Myers to second. So we have 2 leadoff base runners. First and second, no outs. Heck yes. Yeah, Jordan, back to what you said earlier. I'm going to look at the schedule again. If there aren't too many games in the middle of the night, then maybe I will lay off. Because you're right, they are a little difficult. If I can do... The good thing is the majority of the games are like between 8 and 9 in the morning for me, and that's no problem. First pitch to Brendan Rodgers is a strike. Next one on the way in just a moment, and there it is. Just a little low. Good take. Counts even, 1-1. Astros making Rodriguez pitch. 15 pitches now this inning with this delivery, and it doesn't have a single out. Let's see if he can give up a hit here instead of a walk. Here's the pitch. Right on the outside edge, 96 miles an hour. 1 ball, 2 strikes. This is the first time he's been able to have a decent count like this, I think. I can't believe I'm almost out of coffee. It's almost 4 in the morning. It's 3:41 right now. Here's the pitch to Rodgers. That one's right up the middle. Rodgers hits it really hard out to center field, all the way out to the wall, out to the track. He makes the catch right at the wall. Everybody's tagging. Myers is going to move over to third. Man, what a drive by Rodgers. Holy cow, he almost had another 3-run homer. He had one yesterday. Good grief. Man, that was way back there. If Rodgers had gotten around on that, I mean, it was right at the wall in center field. Look how close this was. Good pitch. I mean, good catch by Churio, but man. Whew. Only 1 runner advanced on that play. So we have runners on the corners with 1 out. DeCenzo is on first. Myers is on third. And who's coming to the plate but the Chasmanian Devil himself? Buntmeister McBunterson. He had a sacrifice bunt his last at bat. Was able to move the runners over, and we ultimately were able to score a run off of an error. And then another runner after that on a wild pitch. Here comes the first pitch to Chaz. Whoa, almost clipped him. Ball 1. Good take. You know, I remember when we were in school, they used to tell us, you'll stick your arm out, get hit, go to first. You can't do that in the MLB. They'll say, no, you deliberately got hit. That's a strike. Chaz fouls that one off on the right side. Strike 1, the count's even. Jordan says, uninterrupted sleep is the most important thing. There are lots of scores to follow. Might be in Spanish, though. This one is by far the best, though, but only if you can't sleep. Yeah, I appreciate that. You're right. Especially with my health condition. I really like to sleep at least 8 or 9 hours to feel the best. So I really could use it. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Nope. He goes to first. DeCenzo is back. Chas McCormick still doesn't have an RBI this whole year. Can you believe that? Not a single RBI. I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense. It's not like he's been at the plate a lot. But it would be nice for him to get one here. Here's the pitch. He tries to get one there. Completely misses it. A 95-mile-per-hour fastball. up out of the zone just a little bit. 1 ball and 2 strikes. But yeah, if I could get on a schedule where I'm going to bed every night at a decent time, that would be great. Foul tip, strike 3, so Chaz goes down here. No RBI for Chaz. And 2 outs. Runners on the corners. Hopefully the Astros will not strand anymore. 95 right in the middle of the zone. Couldn't have asked for a better pitch to be hitting. No movement, just straight down the pipe. We're back to the top of the batting order. It's all on the shoulders of Jeremy Peña now to get a run out of this inning. 20 pitches for Rodriguez. Here comes the 21st. Peña hits this really hard. It might be gone. It's all the way out to the wall. It is gone. Jeremy Peña with the 3-run shot. 6-1. Houston Astros, do your thing. Clears the bases. Yeah, you can see I actually had the scoreboard on my screen. We'll take a look at that. Boom. Jeremy Peña just smashes it to left field. Boom. Boom. Heck yes. Man, that hit the wall hard too. 6-1 Astros on that 3-run shot. Altuve's at the plate, takes the first pitch low for strike 1. Finally, the Astros with runners on base again. They come through this time. Here's the next pitch to Altuve, just a little inside and high. Could have gone either way, but ball 1, the count is even. Altuve could follow with a solo shot here. Here's the pitch. Ooh, that's in there. Got to swing at that, Mr. Tuve. Do me a favor and swing at that. 2 outs, no runners on. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Altuve. Here's the pitch. A little low and outside. Good take. 2-2. Heck yes, man. Here's the pitch from Rodriguez. That's grounded to the second baseman. He handles it, fires over to first, and gets Altuve. Altuve, no hits for him today so far, but Jeremy Peña with the big hit. Heck yes. Gives 3 more runs to the Astros. Comes through with runners on and 2 outs. Chas McCormick let us down, unfortunately, but Peña came through. 6-1 Astros. We go into the bottom of the 6th. $14 people watching or listening in right now. Thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. Absolutely. Make sure you like the video. I got 3 more, guys. I didn't think I was going to get anywhere near 17 today because there just weren't so many people watching, but my minimal goal in these videos recently is 10. Minimal goal of 10 likes on the live stream, and I've always gotten that, so that's great. My ideal, at least, my minimal ideal is 20. And we're just 3 away from that. So if you haven't liked the live stream, I appreciate you doing that now. The more people that like it, the more people that comment, talk on the live chat, subscribe, all of these things make YouTube recommend the channel to more people. And I have to believe that there are more people out there that are interested in listening in and following the Astros games. So please, at the very least, if you can, just take a moment to like the video, like the live stream. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. But Jordan, what you were saying earlier about sleep, absolutely. I feel the best when I can sleep and I'm out at my cominca. It's in the countryside. It's very quiet. And when I sleep out there in the morning, if I go to sleep at a decent time, let's say maybe absolutely no later than 11, but preferably like at 10. No alarm clock. I just automatically wake up naturally. after 8 or 9 hours, and I feel absolutely wonderful. Of course, I can't do that if I call the games in the middle of the night. And my girl, she's really worried about my health. I wish I could get her to stop worrying about my health, but she's really concerned about it. And maybe if I tell her I'm not going to do the games at 2 or 3 in the morning anymore, she'll be very happy. Fromber's back on the mound. He's facing Churio. Here's the first pitch. Woo, 93. Churio didn't even try to swing. He just stood there. He was committed to not swinging. Strike one. Here's the pitch. Another one right on the outside edge. Man, Churio's down 0-2 in the count. He calls a timeout and steps out of the box to do a little bit of stretching. He's 0 for 1 today with a strikeout and a walk. Here comes the 0-2 pitch to Mr. Cheerios. Swing and a miss. Fromber with the punch out again. How about that? 80-mile-per-hour curveball. Nasty McNasterson. That is nasty like jackfruit. Otherwise known as durian. Have you guys ever smelled durian? Take a look at this. Whiff. Next batter is Isaac Collins. Right? Oh, just above the zone. I thought that was going to be called a strike, but the umpire lays off. 1 ball, no strikes. 80 pitches now for Valdez. Here comes the next delivery. Right on the outside edge. 78-mile-per-hour curveball. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. 6-1 Astros. Fromber dealing to Isaac Collins. Here's the delivery. Fouled off for strike 2. Nick, hey, thanks for coming back. Just tuning in. Glad my pain is your pleasure today. Yeah, man, I'm sorry for you, Nick, but I'm happy for us. At least we get 1 game of the series. At least it's looking like it. That pitch just barely misses on the outside edge for ball 2. The count is even, 2-2. But yeah, Nick, you took the first 2 games, man. You got to give us something. Give us something. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Ooh, just barely misses a few inches off the plate. Full count. Collins working the count full. He's 0 for 2 today, but he's giving Fromber a little bit of workout here. See if he can set him down for out number 2. Here comes the delivery. Way outside for ball 4, so Fromber walks him. 84 pitches now for Fromber. I wonder if the Astros will start warming somebody up in the bullpen right now. Starting to have that kind of feeling. Christian Yelich comes to the plate. A couple of groundouts today. 0 for 2 is Yelich. Here comes the delivery from Fromber. Down and away in the Doit. Ball 1. It's now 3:53. It's creeping ever closer to 4 o'clock. Here comes a 1-0 pitch. That's hit a line drive straight to Paredes. Good catch by Paredes for 2 outs. How do you like that? Good second out there. I'm going to take a look at that again. Runner was easily able to get back. No problem. Rhys Hoskins comes to the plate. Ground out and line out for him today. First pitch on the way. A little outside. Ball 1. Nick says, well, I don't know about that, but it's not the end of the world if we lose. I just wish I could trust the crew to come back and make it competitive. I know how you feel. I've been on the end of that many times. Just like the last 2 days, actually. Ball 2 from Fromber. Rhys Hoskins ahead in the count. This next pitch will be the 90th of the game for Fromber. Nick says the crew have not won a game this year when they have not scored first. Wow, that's interesting. Ground ball to Peña, picks it up, fires to first, and that's it. Nothing comes of the base runner. Fromber gets out of the inning, preserves the Astros lead. 6-1. We're going to go to the top of the 7th. Astros still in command of this game. 4 hits only for the Astros with 6 runs. Some of those runs just coming with the help of the Brewers. They've got a couple of errors, wild pitch, some little issues helping the Astros get on the board, but of course the 3-run homer by Peña was a big deal to extend that lead. This game is a very low-hitting game. 4 for the Astros, 3 for the Brewers. 7 total hits through 6 complete innings. That is very low. But the score is 6-1. The Brewers score makes sense with only 3 hits, but man, 4 hits and 6 runs, that's a nice ratio. Wish the Astros could do that all year. Did I get my 20th like yet? No, only 18. I still need 2 more likes to get to my 18 threshold. 18 likes on the old live stream. I just realized that my picture portraits weren't completely lined up, so I'm going to readjust those. Man, those sneezes come on so fast. I'm just glad that I was able to pull off my headphones and pull them away from my face to make it not so loud. I have a mute button. It's not always easy to just get to that real fast. Rodriguez is actually still on the mound. He's got 27 pitches. He's facing Isaac Paredes. That first pitch misses for ball 1. Here's the next delivery. Ball 2. 2-0. Here's the next pitch. Little high and inside, ball 3. So the control issues continue for Rodriguez. We might have ourselves another leadoff walk. We had 2 of them last inning to lead it off. Here comes the 3-0 pitch. Rodriguez shakes off several, and now he's got what he wants. Way high and inside, ball 4. 4-pitch walk to what? Paredes? Yeah, Paredes was still standing there like, is that ball 4? Yes, it is, sir. Go to first. The base is yours. The base is yours. Leadoff runner. Showing some pretty interesting stuff about Bob Uecker right now. He was a fun guy. First pitch to Christian Walker is right in there for strike 1. 94 mile per I can't speak right now, I'm sorry. 94 mile per hour pitch. That one's inside on the fists for ball 1. Counts even, 1-1. Yeah, Nicholas says, bless you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Rip Uke. Yeah, absolutely. I enjoyed him very much. Strike 2. And that was just enough to get the plate. Here comes a 1-2 pitch from Rodriguez. Whoa, way high. That was about 2 feet out of the zone. Count is even, 2-2. Here comes the next pitch. The even Steven 2-2. Just a little inside under the arms of Walker. That didn't miss by much. But the count is now full. I think we had that same exact result last inning, right? 4-pitch walk and then a full count walk. This might happen again on Rodriguez. That's pretty crazy. Here comes the pitch to Walker. That one's fouled off, so Walker stays alive. Still an opportunity to get the walk, though. I wouldn't mind them tacking on some more runs. I don't know how many pitches Elvin Rodriguez normally throws, but he is getting really close to 40 right now. This next one is his 37th. Here comes the full count pitch to Walker. Walker hits that one really hard, but foul. Count remains 3-2. Did I get that 20th like yet? Still sitting on 18. Live feed, live stream at 18 likes, guys. I need 2 more to get to 20. 3-2 pitch with a runner on to Christian Walker. He hits this one at the plate. That could have been ball 4. Luckily, he taps it foul. Remains alive. Staying alive, staying alive. Christian Walker, staying alive. Don't know where that came from. Okay, 3-2. Here's the pitch. That's hit hard to left field. Is it going to get down? No, that's catchable at the track by the left fielder. He tosses it in, and Paredes goes back. So no walk for Walker. His name is misleading. Mr. Walker, your name is not Christian Flyouter. Your name is Christian Walker, but that's one away. Yainer Diaz hasn't done much today, 0 for 3. Ground out his last at bat. Here comes the pitch. Another ground ball. Looks like it could be a double play, and it is. Thanks a lot, Yainer. I appreciate that. There's nothing I like more than a ground out into a double play to end the inning. That's my favorite. Besides the triple play to end the inning, my favorite is the double play when we have a guy on base. Thanks, Yainer. Instead of thanks, Obama, it's thanks, Yainer. Thanks, Diaz. Bottom of the 7th coming up. Astros up 6-1. "90 pitches for Fromber through 6 innings. The question is, are the Astros going to bring in a reliever or leave Fromber in? So now is the time where I usually kind of make a guess at this point. At this point, Fromber had just kind of started to lose it a little bit last inning. And with 90 pitches, I feel like their 7th inning guy could come out. We could see... I would like to see Brian King. That's what I'm going to tell you. I would prefer to see Brian King come out rather than Fromber come back out or another reliever. I don't want to see Brian Sousa. Right now, I don't want to see Taylor Scott. I want to see Brian King. Nick says, "You're dedicated, bud. What time is it? 4 a.m. in Japan?" Yeah, right now, man, it's 4:03 a.m. I was having a little discussion earlier with Jordan. He was saying that it might be good for me to just not do the games in the middle of the night. You know, the afternoon games for the Astros. They don't have a lot of them, you know. But for me, those games start at like 2 and 3 in the morning. You know, it's much easier to do like a 5 a.m. game. If there's a game at 5 a.m., that's not too bad. I can still go to bed early and get like 7 or 8 hours of sleep. It's not a big deal. I'm not on a work schedule or anything. So it's doable. Valdez is still on the mound for the Astros, so they're not going to bring in anybody. I wasn't quite sure if they would or not, but they don't. He's facing Daz Cameron. First pitch to him is in the dirt for ball 1. Yeah, 90 pitches, I wasn't quite sure, but the bullpen is going for the Astros. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Cameron. That was low also. Ball 2. I'm not surprised. I don't think, if Valdez continues like this, I don't think that he's going to last much longer. Throwing too many balls right now. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Ground ball, just foul. Paredes makes the play. Good play, but they say it's foul. Wow, they got Brian Abreu going already. He might pitch the rest of this inning and the next. It's possible. Yeah, he threw really well yesterday. Fromber takes a little stroll around the mound. The count is 2-1. Cameron is back in the box. And Fromber gets the call he wants, and here comes the delivery. Ooh, man, that was a bad frame by Diaz. It should have been a strike, but 3 balls and 1 strike. Look at that. That was right there, but Diaz just moved around too much trying to get to it. Here comes the pitch. That's hit hard to right field, but it's going to be playable by McCormick. 1 away. I got to be careful how long I leave these previews on the screen, because if I leave it on there too long, I can get a copyright and I have to cut that part of the video out. Nick says, you do what you love, simple as that. Yeah, that's true, and the truth is right now I can do it. And my hope is that it grows and I'm able to get some sponsorships, because I don't want to depend on money from you guys. It's nice to get donations and stuff, and I do have links for that. 1-0 is the count to Caleb Durbin. But what I would prefer is to have some sponsorships on my screen from businesses, maybe around Houston. That'd be nice. Here comes a 1-0 pitch, grounded to the right side. Brendan Rodgers scoops it up, lobs it over to first. Out number 2. Looks like Fromber might actually get through the 7th inning. Wasn't expecting that. He's up to 97 pitches. He's delivered 97. I'm sorry, not 97. He's delivered 7 pitches so far this inning, so good total so far. 3.5 per batter. He's now facing Vinny Capra. Ooh, right in the bottom of the zone. Good pitch there. Fromber looking a little more focused now than he was earlier. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. In the dirt. As soon as I say he was looking like a little more focused, a little more in control, he throws one in the dirt. 1-1. 99 pitches. The 100th pitch of the game for Fromber coming up in just a moment. 3-hitter, 1-run game for Valdez so far. That one is outside by a good 4 inches. 2 balls and 1 strike. You know what I would love more than anything? A sponsorship from Shipley Donuts. That would be my dream. I need to reach out to them and see if they're interested. 2-1. Here comes the pitch to Capra. Right in there. Fouled. No, not fouled. That's going to be played. But Fromber makes the play. Did he get him? Holy cow. Did you see that? Did you guys just see what I saw? Fromber is laughing his butt off. Did you see that? Holy cow. Fromber is laughing because that is not a play that Fromber ever makes. The Brewers are going to take a look at it, but I thought for sure that was going to be a hit. Fromber got it and fired it over to first. Looks like he's going to be safe. From that angle, it looks like his foot got on the bag. But man, what a great play from Fromber. What an amazing play. That is something you do not often see from Valdez. He has a history of making big boo-boos on those plays. Man, do we have another angle there? That angle wasn't 100% definitive, but we'll see. Here's another view on it from a different angle. Man, that is so close. Here's the ruling. The review appears to be wrapping up. The decision is on the way. Man, they're taking a long time now. I thought they were about to announce it. They're still not ready. Man, Fromber is notorious for messing those up, and that one was almost flawless. It'd be a shame for him not to get it, but it's so close. He's still laughing about it, so smiling and laughing about it. It's funny. It's definitely not something that he normally does. Man, they are taking a really long time. They're still waiting. Maybe they're just not seeing a definitive answer. If they give it to him, that's going to be awesome. He's going to laugh his butt off if he gets that. That's going to be a great way to end this game for him. Here it is. The runner is out. It stands. The call stands. And Fromber gets the amazing play. Look at this. Look at that. He just grabbed it and sidearmed it over there. Holy cow. What a great way to go out for Fromber Valdez. The fans were booing that when they thought that he was clearly safe. But the problem was that the angles they had, it wasn't 100% certain that his foot was on that bag before. It wasn't quite enough to overturn it. Holy cow. I'm so happy that Fromber got that, man. I am so happy for him. That's going to make some highlight reels right there, because that was an amazing play that he never makes. That was great. I'm so happy for him right there to walk out of the game completing 7 innings like that. That's great. Oh man, in the live stream, Jordan says, doing things you enjoy is also therapeutic. That's right. And that's another thing, Jordan. Actually, the Astros don't win every game. And to be honest, getting up at 2:45 in the morning, 3:45 in the morning, 1:45 in the morning, or I say in the morning, but in the middle of the night, to call a game, and then the Astros just play like crap. It's beyond difficult. And my thing is to be as positive as possible in every area of my life. So I don't want to say anything really negative about the Astros. I don't have a desire to feel. That's the main thing. I don't want to feel any negativity towards them, even when they're struggling, even when it appears that their batting is just atrocious. I don't want to focus on that. For you guys and for myself especially, I want to stay positive, but not just staying positive on the outside, but feeling positive on the inside. 20 likes on the live stream right now. Speaking of positive vibes, thank you so much. We got to we got to my minimal number of likes for the live stream. Jordan says, better when we win, of course. Absolutely. Myers is at the plate facing Elvin Rodriguez, who's still in the game. 2 balls, and then that one's a strike. They were showing some kind of highlights and stuff, and I didn't see him at the plate. So I missed the first couple of pitches. 2-1. Here comes the next pitch. He fouls that one off. Count is even, 2-2. Kind of interesting that they left Rodriguez in there. I guess he's a multiple innings guy. He's up to 44 pitches now. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. That's a strike 3, taken right down the middle. No doubt about that one. Mr. Baseball is not able to handle that at bat. One away for the Astros here in the top of the 8th. Zach DeCenzo comes to the plate. A double. An RBI, 2 runs scored. First pitch to him is a little low and away. Ball 1. DeCenzo batting .275 right now, doing a really good job making the case for keeping him in the game, but not with that swing. Up and in for strike 1. The count is even, 1-1. Jordan says, at least we win today, or probably win. Yeah, it looked like we were going to win several days ago, right? We were up 4-0, lost 5-4. Womp womp. 2 balls and 1 strike. That one was out of the zone. DeCenzo back in. Here's the pitch from Rodriguez. Right in there. A nice curveball. That was a beautiful pitch. Looked like a home run pitch. Why didn't you swing, my friend? Counts even, 2-2. Here comes the delivery. Fouls that one off. Stays alive. Abreu and Ort are warming up in the bullpen. 2 different Astros. Hader is also kind of tossing the ball around back there. Here comes the pitch. This one's hit lightly to the shortstop. He fires over to first and just barely gets DeCenzo. DeCenzo was hustling his butt off, but wasn't able to beat the throw. So out number 2. Yeah, Hader is warming up back there. He really wants to pitch in the 9th inning, it looks like. First pitch to Brendan Rodgers is in the top of the zone. Oh, that is not a strike. That's a ball. Just above the zone. Here's the next pitch. Inside, ball 2. Good takes by Rodgers. Here comes the pitch. Just a little high. Misses outside and high. 3-0. 3 straight balls by Rodriguez. 2 outs, no runners on. Threatening a walk here. We'll see if he gets it. Here's the delivery. Just a little inside, ball 4. Missed by inches. 4 straight pitches. And we have ourselves a base runner. Chazmanian Devil comes up to the plate again. He's got himself another opportunity to do something in this game. Runner's on first, so a little bit more difficult to drive him in, but he still has an opportunity to get an RBI. Let's see if he can do it. Here's the pitch. 86 miles an hour on that sweeper. Strike 1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. He goes after that one, hits it way up high. Is it going to be playable? It looks like it is, and Chaz fouls out rather. Leaves the runner on, but the Astros maintain their lead. 6-1. We go into the bottom of the 8th. Let's see. So they had, who they had warming up in the bullpen? Brian Abreu, Caleb Ort. So who do we think's coming in the game? Okay, I'm going to take a guess. I'm going to change on my screen who I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be Ort. And here's why. Because the Astros are up 6-1. I think maybe so. Maybe so. I'd like to see Abreu come in, to be honest. I'd really like to see Abreu, but I just have this sneaky feeling that they're going to bring Ort in. Perhaps Ort is the guy they're going to go to, and if he struggles, then they will bring Abreu in. That's kind of how I feel. That's my thinking. That's my line O thinking. Let's see if I'm going to be right. But I went in and changed it on the screen. And we'll see. I've been pretty good at choosing the pitchers, the relief pitchers. BitDog, welcome back. Good to see you again. Woohoo. Now this is what I wanted to see. Way to go, Stros. By the way, guys, that's the link that I meant to show you. That's to my other YouTube channel. This has almost 3,000 subscribers. If you're interested in what I'm doing at my house, my old house in Japan, that's my channel link. You can subscribe over there if you're interested. Since I'm moving back over there, I will be posting more videos coming up real soon. But I started posting a lot of videos there, and then I struggled for a while because I got really sick with this cancer tumor. And then I went to language school in another city, so I stopped posting videos for a long time. But I'm about to get back into it. So I've got two different channels to balance. This one for the live stream games, and the other for my old house renovation. Brian Abreu is actually on the mound. First pitch is in there for strike one. Whoops, I didn't mean to have the game on for so long. That was my bad. Can't be doing that. Get myself a copyright claim. Here comes the next pitch from Abreu. That one's grounded to Peña, backhands it and fires to first. Good play by Peña. Out number one. So I was wrong about Ort coming in. Looks like the Astros wanted to go ahead and put in their main guy and not play around. Can't say I blame them. I personally would have chosen Abreu over Ort, but recently I wouldn't say that the coach has been choosing, Espada has been choosing the right guy. First pitch to the next batter is hit high in the air, caught by Myers for out number 2. Joey Ortiz 0 for 3 today with that fly out on the first pitch. They're showing DQ commercials right now. Oh my gosh, I miss the country basket from DQ. And the toast. Here comes the pitch to the next batter, Jackson Churio, way outside, ball 1. 2 outs for Abreu right now. Efficient so far with just 4 pitches. Here's the 5th. He swings at the ball. I mean, you got to give it to the Brewers. They're swinging the bat. They're trying. It's a lot more than I can say for the Astros when they're in a similar situation. They seem to take too many strikes and just go down too easy. Here's the next pitch. That one's hit hard to left field. Is it going to get down? Nope. It's right to Dubon, who's out in left field. He has come in the game for DeCenzo. 1-2-3 for Abreu. He gets the job done again. He's been nothing but locked down recently. So that's it for the 8th. Brewers go down quietly, and we go to the top of the 9th. Astros have one last chance to try to do something here to tack on even more insurance runs. Let's see if they will. It is 4:23 in the morning, so if this game ends faster, I'm okay with that. Absolutely okay with that. BitDog says subbed. Arigato gozaimasu. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I expect to have a new video on that channel coming up in a few days, just kind of an update video to let everybody know that I'm back at the house. Nick says, I think Pat Murphy is keeping Elvin in as an inning eater unless the crew can score. There's no point in wasting more arms than necessary in a losing effort. Yeah, I can get that. If they need their other arms to be fresh, and maybe they've used them too much recently, it makes sense. I mean, if you're down by 5 runs and your guys aren't hitting the ball, you might as well leave him in there. I mean, heck, if you actually look at it, though, he only had one bad inning, the 3rd inning. Is that right? Or did he give up the runs in the 5th and the 6th? Yeah, I think that's right. He gave up the runs in the 5th and 6th. So he did give up 5 of the Astros runs, unfortunately. But after that, he's got a couple of goose eggs on the board, so as long as he's doing that, you might as well just leave him in there. All right. Jeremy Peña comes to the plate. The Astros are going to get to start the 9th inning at the top of the batting order. Here comes the first pitch from Rodriguez. That's in there for strike 1. Oh, 0-1 is the count. Here comes the pitch. That's hit hard to left field. That's going to go all the way out to the wall. Leadoff double, at least for Peña. He's booking it around second. They're going to have to bring it in quick. Heck yes, another extra base hit for the Astros. A leadoff double here in the 9th for Jeremy Peña. Altuve is at 699 extra base hits. He's 3rd all-time shortest players, 5'7" or shorter. 3rd all-time. He just needs 1 more to get to 700. He's behind Jimmy Rollins and Joe Morgan. He's now at the plate. Here's the first pitch to Altuve. Way up high. Ball 1. Good take. That guy right there, he's my hero. 1-0 is the count. Peña on second, no outs. Here's the pitch. Outside, good take. 2-0. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Ooh, that missed just barely. Could have been called a strike. Not framed and caught very efficiently by the catcher, though. 3 balls and no strikes to Altuve. Here comes the 3-0. Yeah, that one's in there. He takes that one all the way. He wasn't even interested in swinging at that one. 3 balls and 1 strike. Yeah, they got Josh Hader warming up in the bullpen. Here comes the 3-1 pitch to Altuve. He fouls that one off. Strike 2, full count. Altuve doesn't have a single hit this game. He's 0 for 4. I don't want him to go 0 for 5. He needs to do something. His batting average has slipped a lot. He's down to 246. Really struggling recently. Here's the pitch. He hits that one really hard, but foul. Holy cow, that was a towering shot to the upper deck. Man, he just got around on it way too early. That was a bomb. Right as I'm saying, he needs to get himself a hit. He launches, just came around way too early. 66th pitch of the game for Rodriguez. Altuve goes to the right side. It's going to be a kind of a close play. Is he safe? He's safe at first base. Thank God Altuve gets a hit. Man, good job, Altuve. Let's take a look at that. Hustling his butt down to first base, and he just barely beats the throw. Kind of a what they call a pull shot over to the second baseman. Runners on the corners with no outs. Good job, Altuve, man. Really happy to see you get that hit. You needed it. Infield hit. Isaac the ball Paredes comes to the plate. Runners on the corners, no outs. Here's the pitch. Right in there, 94 miles an hour. Strike one. That was a good pitch. Yeah, that was a really fast run to first base for a 35-year-old guy. That was really fast. Here comes the next pitch to Paredes. Low and away. Ball one. Counts even. Always like to see Altuve standing next to these infielders. They look like they're 2 feet taller than him. Here's the next pitch to Perez. Little inside under his arms. You know, Paredes likes to hug the plate, but that curveball didn't quite catch the corner or the edge. So ball two, 2-1. 70 pitches now for Rodriguez with this delivery. Here it comes. Fouled back. Curveball. 79 miles an hour. Count is even, 2-2. Jordan says, what's your other channel? The link is right there, Jordan. It's the one I posted. Here's a pitch to Paredes. Fouled away again. Count remains 2-2. My channel is about my life in Japan, but primarily based around my old house and living there and renovating it. BitDog says, fellow Houstonian retiring to Manila at the end of the year. Woot. Yeah, I'm kind of a Houstonian myself because I lived there when I was a kid from the time I was a baby on. Look at that. Right field hit for Paredes, and that's 7-1. Peña can walk home. Altuve stops at second base. Opposite field hit for Paredes. Pushing it out into right field. Let's take a look at this. That inside pitch just hitting it to the opposite field. So the Astros do manage to tack on even more runs. Or at least another run here in the ninth. 7-1. Christian Walker comes to the plate with no outs, runners on first and second. First pitch on the way to him. He fouls that one off of his bat. That's going to be playable. He didn't mean to do that. But he moves the runners over. Somehow that stayed fair. That was crazy. But the runners move up. So he unintentionally sacrifices the guys over to second and third. Take another look at that. Look at this. Didn't really mean to hit it. Just check swing, hit it off the bat. Unintentional sacrifice. Runners on second and third for Yainer Diaz. Yainer goes to left field. Heck yes, that's going to be more runs for the Astros. 2-run score. Altuve scores. Diaz in there with a double. Holy cow, look at that. Altuve and Paredes score. Man. Let's go back and take a look at that shot if we can. There it is, right over the head of the third baseman and into left field. Just in the right spot. Yainer finally coming through. Just sliding in there in time with the double. Rodriguez, it looks like he's going to have his night cut short now at 9-1 Astros. Yep, that's it for him. He's headed out of the game. I might need to refresh my score screen here. No, it's right. It says 9-1. It's right. Why is it not right on my software? Let me take a look at my software again. Okay. Yeah, my scoreboard for some reason is not updating. So let me fix that. There we go. It should update now. And it does. 9-1. Jordan says, got it, thanks. But yeah, BitDog, what I was trying to say earlier is that right after I was born, my family moved us to Houston. My mom is from there, and all of her family is in that area. And we lived in an area called Wood Forest. You might might know it, might not, but I grew up there until I was like 7 or 8 years old. We moved back to Louisiana, where I was born originally, and then spent the rest of my childhood there. But because of my time in Houston, I just became an all Houston fan, and pretty much stayed that way. Jordan says, "Wish I could." You wish you get retired of Manila. I'm sorry. The Philippines is just for various reasons I can't stay there, but the main reason is the climate. I don't like the hot, humid climate. I just can't stand it. I much prefer Japan weather. It's only hot and humid for like 2 months out of the year, and the rest is really nice. Cold or cool, it's very nice. Jordan says, Peña has been killing it ever since I said he'd do better if his bat wasn't below his shoulder. You called it. BitDog says, about time, absolutely. Jordan says, now with this win, you'll be too worked up to go back to sleep. It's better than going to sleep depressed, right? Philip, welcome back. It's good to see you. Let's go Astros. You always seem to sneak in near the end and say, let's go Astros. Are you creeping, man? Are you a creep listener? Jake Myers is at the plate, takes the first pitch for ball 1. I wonder if Myers is going to do something here. He's 1 for 3 today. He hits that ball out to right center pretty deep, all the way to the track. Deep drive. Yiner is able to tag and move to third, so Myers moves the runner up. Sacrifice fly by Mr. Baseball there. 2 away. Yiner on third. Zach DeCenzo is out of the game. He's getting a break. Dubon is in for him, so he has his first at-bat of the game. Astros now have 8 hits suddenly. 3 runs this inning. Tyler Alexander is on the mound for the Brewers. This one's hit high. Is it going to be playable over on the right side? Oh, wow. Good catch by Hoskins. He catches it right by the net. That's out number 3. So Dubon goes down really quickly with just 1 pitch. But the Astros get 3 more on the board. 9-1. This game should be in hand. Josh Hader coming in for the Astros. It seems silly to bring Hader in when they're up 9-1, but it looks like Hader really wants to pitch. He really was chomping at the bit out there in the bullpen, warming up. So my guess is that regardless of what the manager says, he's going to come in the game. So I'm going to go ahead and put him in. He really looked like he wanted to pitch. And let's see here. Who was in the game for the... Whoops. I accidentally clicked the button to start my video editor. My DaVinci Resolve editor. I didn't mean to do that. Alexander. Tyler Alexander. Yeah, I don't have him in my folder. But I'm going to update him on the screen even though his inning is over. I wish this DaVinci would hurry up and load so I can close it. There we go. Close that. Okay. Yeah, way too much load on my computer to be loading that. There we go. Bottom of the ninth coming up, guys. The Brewers' last opportunity. They're down by 8. The Astros finally decide to score all their runs in one game. All those runs they needed in the other games, they're just making up for it right now. In a game they might be able to win with just 2 runs, they wound up with 9. That's typical Astros right there. Only need a few runs to win, don't get them. Only need 2 runs to win, score 9. Hader is on the mound. First pitch is high and outside to Isaac Collins, ball 1. Hader normally works pretty quick. Here comes a 1-0 pitch. Just a little high, misses for ball 2. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss on the inside edge. Strike 1, 2-1. First time for Hader to pitch here in an Astros uniform, actually, in Milwaukee. A little outside. I would imagine that's why he really wanted to be in the game. He wanted to pitch in Milwaukee at least once. And here it is, 3-1 right now. Here's the pitch. Just a little low and inside. So he starts off with a walk. Brewers have a leadoff base runner. Collins goes to first. Christian Yelich is due up. Nick says, cut short. I can't imagine why I tip my hat to you Astros today. Thanks, Nick. Sorry, but man, you got the series. That's for sure. Manila, Houston, same weather. Yeah, it's pretty similar, Bit Dog. Pretty similar. Yelich is at the plate. Here comes a pitch from Hader. That's in there for strike 1. Good pitch. Philip says, just got off work. Otsukare sama deshita. It means thank you for your hard work. That's in there for another strike. Good pitch on the edge by Hader. 0-2 is the count. 0-2 pitch from Hader to Yelich is on the way. Fouled off. Count remains 0-2. Astros Houston, good job. Thanks for being here. Make sure you guys like the live stream if you can. Nick says, typical new crew. These are very similar teams. Yeah, they have a lot of similarities. That next pitch just misses the top of the zone for ball 1. 1-2 is the count to Yelich. Jordan says, yep, we're scoring all our runs in one game again. Yep, it's very common. It's the way the Astros do things. Start hitting, but just for one game. Next pitch is strike 3. Yelich goes around 96 on the outside edge. Good pitch by Hader. Yelich can't get the bat on it. 1 away. Take another look at that. 96 mile per hour sinker up and away. Nasty pitch. Rhys Hoskins comes to the plate. Here's the first pitch. He hits that one really hard out to left field. Is that going to be fair? No, it bounces just foul. No, it's fair. It bounces out of the... Where did it bounce? That looked like it was foul. Runners at second and third? I'm not sure exactly what happened there. I need a replay. I thought that ball was in the stands. Let's take a look. It was ripped into left field by Hoskins. Where did it land? Oh, it did land fair. Man, I thought that ball bounced off the fence out there in foul territory. I don't know what was... I guess it was a big hop. Maybe that's why it looked like that from my other angle. Oh well, runners on second and third with 1 out. Hader has given up a walk and now a double. And 1 strikeout. It's quite the mix. He's facing Daz Cameron. First pitch is in there for strike 1, an 84 mile per hour slider. Here comes the 0-1 pitch, rather. Make that 0-2, 96 mile per hour sinker right in there, swing and a miss. Hader getting angry here. Here comes the 0-2. Swing and a miss on the foul tip. 96 mile per hour. No, 97 mile per hour. sinker right in the middle of the plate. He just blows it by him. Take a look at this. Man, he barely got the bat around, but it was too late. Out number 2. One out away from this game being over. Here comes the pitch to Durbin. Ooh, he gets hit on the hand. And bases are loaded just like that. So Hader has 2 strikeouts, a walk, a double, and now a hit by pitch. Talk about a mixed bag. Man, that's crazy. It hit his back right forearm. Luckily, it wasn't on the hand. That would really, really hurt. On the forearm, doesn't feel good, especially when it's like 95 miles an hour. But better on the forearm than on the hand, I always say. Here's the next pitch. He's facing Vinny Capra. Strike 1. 0-1 is the count. Bases loaded. What a 9th inning for Hader. Come on, man. Whoa, he almost hit him. The crowd is booing. That would have been a hit by pitch walk with bases loaded. 1 ball and 1 strike. Man, what in the world is Hader doing? Look at that. He almost got him. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here comes the pitch. That one is right on the edge for strike 2. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases loaded. Josh Hader having a difficult time here. Despite his excitement to pitch in the game, he needs to calm down and get the out. Here's the pitch. This one's hit into left field pretty deep. Dubon gets it. He's got enough room and he puts it away. Hader with a terrible inning, the total opposite of Abreu, but he manages to get out of it somehow without giving up a run. Astros win this one handily, 9-1. But man, what a terrible showing for Josh Hader. He's lucky to come away with no runs in that inning. That was absolutely nuts. Abso-smurfly nuts. Astros Houston says, Houston's strong. My city, go Houston. I agree, go Stros. Let's go next out, says Astros Houston. Bubba, welcome back. Thank you for being here. Hader's a thug. He was pitching all over the place in that inning. He's lucky to get out of it. And good catch by Dubon for sure. Nick says, good job. Thank you for the stream. Thank you for being here, Nick. The Astros and the Brewers meet again in the future. I hope to see you back. I appreciate the support. And Bit Dog says, take a nap. Absolutely. It is about 4:45 in the morning here. I should be able to sleep for at least 3, maybe 4 more hours tonight. So I'm about to do that. But before I do, I have to give a score recap, as I usually do. So let's take a look at the recap of this game. It was almost all Astros. It started in the top of the second when DeCinzo doubled to left, scoring Myers 1-0. Astros finally got on the board again in the 5th when Peña grounded into a fielder's choice, scoring DeCinzo 2-0. Again in the top of the 5th, Rogers scored on an error, a passed ball by Haas, 3-0 Astros. One more time in the 5th, Haas. I'm sorry. Let me back up. 3-0 Astros going into the bottom of the 5th. Haas came to the plate and homered to center field, a solo shot, 3-1 Astros. That was the only run that the Brewers would get this game, is that solo homer. In the top of the 6th, Peña homered to left field, a 3-run shot scoring Myers and DeCinzo, 6-1 Astros. That's what really blew the game open. From there, they tacked on a few more runs. In the top of the 9th, it was on. Paredes singled to right, scoring Peña, moving Altuve to second, 7-1. Diaz doubled to left after that, scoring both Altuve and Paredes, 9-1 Astros. And that's where it would end right there. 8 total hits for the Astros and 9 runs. That is the kind of ratio I like to see. No errors for the Astros. That's kind of their typical. They've been really solid on defense this year. Low errors, some of the best in the majors. Milwaukee with 2 errors today, a couple of costly ones. One on a transfer throw by the left fielder, and the other by a passed ball. But Astros take one of the series, the Brewers win it, and both teams are basically 500. This is a pretty even matchup, but it's just sad that the Astros couldn't score more runs in the first 2 games instead of just piling them all on in the last game. But a win is a win, and we're looking forward to the next game. They're going to have a break tomorrow, guys, but I do have the next few live streams scheduled. And Jordan, thank you for suggesting that I take off these afternoon games. I will consider it in the future for health reasons. It will be nice to sleep all night long and get up for just the games in the morning. I think that maybe the games between 5 a.m. and later for me, the early evening to late evening games, maybe those games are the ones I should concentrate on. If I do that, I think I can better commit to doing the games and have more of a break for myself, sleep better, get better rest. So I will take that into consideration. But anyway, Bubba says, I always at least be lurking. Yeah, you're a lurker. Astros Houston says, thank you, fan. Astros Houston, yeah, no problem. I appreciate you guys so much. I was able to get to my minimal ideal amount of likes at 20. We reached 22. Thank you so very much. And I look forward to seeing you again for the next game a couple days from now. But for now, that's all there is to say. So I will say the only thing that there's left to say, which is what I always say, and that is, go Stros.